Have you ever felt a little pang in your chest, a subtle worry about your heart health? Even when you're trying your best to eat well, we're constantly told that vegetables are a cornerstone of a healthy diet. Especially as we get older, we diligently add them to our plates, believing we're doing our bodies a world of good, nourishing ourselves with every bite. But what if I told you that some of the vegetables you're eating, perhaps daily, are actually working against your heart? Silently, slowly, damaging its delicate systems without you even realizing it. It's a shocking truth. Isn't it a revelation that could truly change how you approach your meals? And more importantly, how you protect your most vital organ? We're not talking about avoiding vegetables entirely. Absolutely not. Instead, it's about understanding the hidden pitfalls, the surprising ways seemingly innocent foods can become a burden rather than a blessing for your heart. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 5 specific types of vegetables, or more accurately, the ways we often consume them, that you absolutely need to reconsider if you're over 60 and serious about keeping your heart strong, vibrant, and healthy for many years to come. These aren't just minor adjustments. For some, understanding these points could be truly life-changing. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to share something that might truly surprise you about what you thought was a healthy choice, and how easily you can turn things around for your cardiovascular well-being. Let's begin right away with the first culprit, one that sneaks onto our plates in so many delicious but dangerous forms: the humble potato. But not just any potato. I'm talking about the processed and fried potatoes that have become a pervasive staple in many Western diets, often masked as convenient or comforting side dishes. Think about it. French fries, potato chips, instant mashed potatoes, potato skins loaded with cheese and bacon. These aren't the wholesome, fiber-rich vegetables you might imagine. When potatoes are processed and fried, they undergo a profound transformation that makes them remarkably detrimental to your heart health. First, frying them, especially in common vegetable oils like corn, soy, or sunflower oil, creates trans fats and oxidizes the oils themselves, turning them into inflammatory compounds. These inflammatory substances are like tiny wrecking balls for your blood vessels, leading to arterial stiffness and plaque buildup over time, setting the stage for heart disease. Beyond the unhealthy fats, processed potatoes also deliver a massive glycemic load. This means they cause your blood sugar to spike rapidly, almost as quickly as if you'd eaten pure sugar. Constant blood sugar spikes force your pancreas to work overtime producing insulin, and over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. And guess what? Type 2 diabetes is a major independent risk factor for heart disease. Furthermore, many processed potato products, particularly potato chips and instant mashed potatoes, are loaded with excessive sodium. A single serving of potato chips can contain a significant portion of your daily recommended sodium intake. High sodium intake is a direct pathway to high blood pressure, a silent killer that forces your heart to work harder, stiffening your arteries and increasing your risk of heart attack and stroke. So, while a plain, baked potato with its skin can offer valuable fiber and potassium, the moment you deep fry it, mash it with butter and salt from a box, or turn it into crispy chips, it becomes an enemy to your heart. What can you do instead? Embrace potatoes in their whole, unprocessed forms. Bake them, boil them, or roast them with a drizzle of healthy olive oil and herbs. Consider sweet potatoes, which have a lower glycemic index and are packed with beneficial antioxidants and fiber, making them a much heart-friendlier alternative. The key is to shift your mindset from convenience and processed forms to whole, naturally prepared options. By making this simple switch, you're not only reducing inflammatory fats and excessive sodium, but also helping to stabilize your blood sugar. All crucial steps for safeguarding your cardiovascular system as you age. It's a small change with a big payoff for your heart. Now, moving from one starchy vegetable to another, let's talk about the second item on our list. And this one might surprise many of you. Conventional corn, and especially its highly processed derivatives. Most people think of corn as a healthy, natural vegetable, a staple of summer barbecues, and comforting dishes. However, the truth is, the vast majority of corn consumed today, particularly in processed foods, is a far cry from the sweet, plump kernels picked fresh from the garden. We're talking about conventional corn, which is often genetically modified and heavily sprayed with pesticides like glyphosate. These chemicals can contribute to chronic inflammation in the body. Inflammation, as we've already touched upon, is a key driver of heart disease, silently damaging arterial walls and promoting plaque formation. But the real danger lies in corn's insidious presence in countless processed food products. Think about high fructose corn syrup, corn oil, cornstarch, and maltodextrin. These are all derived from corn and are ubiquitous in packaged foods. From breakfast cereals and baked goods to sodas and salad dressings, high fructose corn syrup, in particular, is a major concern. It's a concentrated sugar that, when consumed regularly, contributes significantly to weight gain, insulin resistance, and the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, all of which are closely linked to an increased risk of heart disease. Corn oil, another common corn derivative, is high in omega-6 fatty acids, while omega-6 are essential. The typical Western diet has a severely imbalanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. Favoring omega-6s heavily, this imbalance promotes inflammation throughout the body, directly impacting cardiovascular health. It's not just about the corn itself, but how it's grown and, more importantly, how it's transformed into ingredients that permeate our food supply. So, what's the actionable step here if you enjoy corn? Opt for organic, non-GMO varieties whenever possible. This significantly reduces your exposure to harmful pesticides and genetically modified organisms. More importantly, become a diligent label reader. Avoid processed foods that list corn oil, high fructose corn syrup, cornstarch, or maltodextrin prominently in their ingredients. These hidden corn derivatives are often sugar and fat bombs that provide little to no nutritional value while actively contributing to inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, both of which are grave threats to your heart health as you age. By choosing whole, organic corn in moderation and consciously avoiding its processed forms, you can significantly reduce your heart's burden and protect its long-term vitality. It's about being aware of where corn truly shows up in your diet and making informed choices to steer clear of its more harmful manifestations. All right, with those two out of the way, let's turn our attention to something found in nearly every pantry, a convenience item that often masks a hidden danger for your heart: high-sodium canned vegetables. Many of us grew up with canned vegetables as a quick and easy side dish. They're convenient, shelf-stable, and seemingly healthy because, well, they're vegetables. Right, but the vast majority of canned vegetables, from green beans and peas to corn and mixed vegetables, are packed in a brine that is absolutely loaded with sodium. A single serving can contain hundreds of milligrams of sodium, and if you're not careful, it's alarmingly easy to exceed your daily recommended limit for sodium just by having a couple of these on your plate. The direct link between high sodium intake and heart disease is undeniable and well established. Consuming too much sodium leads to fluid retention in your body. This extra fluid increases the volume of blood in your arteries, forcing your heart to work much harder to pump it through your circulatory system. Over time, this constant strain elevates your blood pressure, leading to hypertension. High blood pressure is a silent but incredibly destructive force for your cardiovascular system. It stiffens and narrows your arteries, making them less elastic and more prone to damage. This damage can lead to atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque in your arteries, which significantly increases your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other serious cardiovascular events. So, while the vegetables themselves might be nutrient-rich, the medium they're preserved in turns them into a ticking time bomb for your heart. Even if you rinse them, you won't remove all the sodium that has permeated the vegetable itself. What's the healthier alternative? Prioritize fresh vegetables whenever they're in season and available. They offer the maximum nutrient content without any added sodium or preservatives. When fresh isn't an option, unsalted frozen vegetables are an excellent choice. They are picked at their peak ripeness and flash frozen, locking in their nutrients without the need for excessive sodium. If canned vegetables are truly your only option due to budget or availability, Always opt for no salt added or low sodium varieties, and make sure to rinse them thoroughly before cooking to wash away as much of the remaining sodium as possible. Reading labels carefully is paramount here. Don't assume that because it's a vegetable, it's automatically heart-healthy in its canned form. Your heart will thank you for making this conscious switch from high-sodium convenience to fresh or low-sodium alternatives. This seemingly small change can have a profound positive impact on managing your blood pressure and reducing your overall cardiovascular risk. And now for our fourth vegetable category, one that often sparks debate, but whose impact on your heart simply cannot be ignored. Especially for those over 60 non-organic vegetables from the Dirty Dozen list. You might be thinking, what aren't all vegetables good? For me, in an ideal world, yes, but unfortunately, the reality of modern agriculture means that many conventionally grown vegetables are heavily sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. The Environmental Working Group EWG annually publishes a Dirty Dozen list, which highlights produce with the highest pesticide residues. These are not trivial amounts. We're talking about potentially dozens of different pesticide chemicals found on and in these foods. While regulatory bodies deem individual levels of these chemicals safe, the cumulative effect of ingesting multiple pesticides from various sources over decades, especially for an aging body, is a growing concern. Pesticides are designed to kill living organisms, and while they target pests, they can also act as toxins in the human body. Research increasingly links long-term exposure to these agricultural chemicals to a host of health problems, including inflammation, oxidative stress, and endocrine disruption. Chronic inflammation, as we discussed earlier, is a fundamental driver of cardiovascular disease. It damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels, promoting plaque buildup and increasing your risk of heart attack and stroke. Oxidative stress, another consequence of toxin exposure, means an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants in your body, leading to cellular damage that can directly impact heart health. Your heart and circulatory system are incredibly intricate, and constantly battling these low-level toxins places an unnecessary burden on them, diverting resources away from essential repair and maintenance functions. For someone over 60 whose body's natural detoxification processes may be less efficient, this cumulative exposure becomes even more critical to consider. So, what's the actionable advice here? When it comes to the Dirty Dozen vegetables, which commonly include items like strawberries, spinach, kale, nectarines, apples, grapes, and bell peppers, make a conscious effort to buy organic. Organic farming practices prohibit the use of synthetic pesticides and herbicides, drastically reducing your exposure to these harmful chemicals. If buying organic isn't always feasible, thoroughly wash and scrub your conventional produce to remove as much surface residue as possible. And consider peeling fruits and vegetables when appropriate, though some nutrients may be lost in the skin. Another smart strategy is to prioritize vegetables from the EWG's Clean 15 list, which typically have much lower pesticide residues. Regardless of whether they're organic or conventional, making informed choices about sourcing your vegetables, particularly those known to be heavily sprayed, is a crucial step in minimizing your toxic load and supporting your heart's long-term health. It's about being proactive in protecting your internal environment from external threats that silently contribute to cardiovascular strain. We're down to our final, fifth category of vegetables that, while seemingly innocent, can silently undermine your heart health, especially as you age. Vegetables found in ultra-processed meals and convenience foods. Think about those frozen dinners marketed as healthy, the fast food veggie burgers, the pre-made deli salads, or even certain pre-cut vegetable trays with dips. These items often appear to be a great way to get your daily vegetable intake, especially when you're busy or don't feel like cooking from scratch. However, the reality is that the vegetables in these products are often merely a vehicle for a whole host of ingredients that are profoundly detrimental to your heart. These ultra-processed meals are typically laden with unhealthy fats, excessive sodium, added sugars, and a cocktail of artificial additives, preservatives, and flavor enhancers. For instance, A frozen vegetable medley might come with a creamy sauce that's full of saturated or trans fats and hidden sugars. A store-bought veggie burger, while sounding healthy, can be highly processed with refined starches, inflammatory oils, and significant amounts of sodium. Even a seemingly innocent pre-made salad from a deli could be swimming in a sugary, high-fat dressing and include processed toppings like croutons or cheese, effectively negating any benefit from the greens. The vegetables themselves, after extensive processing, cooking, and freezing, often lose a significant portion of their original nutrient content, turning them into little more than flavor and texture without the real health benefits you expect. This combination of unhealthy additions and diminished nutritional value creates a perfect storm for cardiovascular decline. The excessive sodium contributes to high blood pressure. The unhealthy fats promote inflammation and arterial plaque. And the added sugars increase your risk of insulin resistance and weight gain, all direct pathways to heart disease. For those over 60 who are often managing existing heart conditions or are at higher risk, these hidden dangers are especially insidious. So, what's the solution? Prioritize cooking your own meals at home using whole, fresh, or plain frozen vegetables. When you prepare your own food, you have complete control over the ingredients, the type of oil, the amount of salt, and the absence of hidden sugars and artificial additives. If you must rely on convenience, become an expert label reader. Look for frozen meals with simple ingredient lists, no added sauces or excessive sodium. Choose plain, unsalted canned vegetables that you can rinse. Opt for fresh, whole vegetables you can chop yourself, rather than pre-cut trays that might be past their prime or come with unhealthy additions. Making the effort to prepare your own vegetable-rich meals means you're truly nourishing your heart, rather than unknowingly burdening it with hidden, harmful ingredients. It's about choosing real food over convenient imposters. We've talked about how our preparation methods can turn healthy potatoes into silent heart adversaries, how the pervasive nature of conventional corn and its derivatives can fuel inflammation, how the convenience of canned vegetables can unleash a sodium bomb on your blood pressure, how unseen toxins on our dirty dozen can burden our cardiovascular system, and how seemingly healthy vegetables in ultra-processed meals are often laden with hidden dangers. Remember, the goal here isn't to scare you away from vegetables altogether. Quite the opposite. It's about empowering you with knowledge, helping you make smarter, more heart-conscious choices in a world full of misleading food options. Small, consistent shifts in your diet can lead to truly significant improvements in your energy, your vitality, and most importantly, your cardiovascular health. Your heart is an incredible organ that works tirelessly for you every single second of every day. It deserves your protection and your informed care. I truly hope this conversation has opened your eyes to some surprising truths and given you a clearer path forward for protecting your heart. Your heart is precious, and every conscious choice you make regarding your diet matters immensely. If this video resonated with you, if you learned something new, or if it simply sparked a thought, please take a moment to share your insights in the comments below. Have you been avoiding any of these foods already? What's one change you're ready to make today to support your heart health? I genuinely love to hear from you and connect with our wonderful community. And if you found this information valuable, if it provided clarity and a sense of empowerment, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who need to hear this vital message. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical, encouraging advice on living your best, healthiest life at every age. Thank you for joining me on this important journey to better heart health. Remember, age is just a number when you nourish your body and mind with care. Keep living vibrantly, keep thriving, and keep cherishing that incredible heart of yours.